You've been the eyes on what's going on with the minor leaguers and just how special these two have been to the system.
Well, as you said it, #1 ranked catcher and pitcher. That's pretty strong for the Orioles, as Rutschman remains #2. Wander Franco is still the king at #1 for the Rays, but Adley's a strong #2, Melanie. And I think among all the impressive stats, he's already got 1,000 OPS at Bowie, 586 slugging. He's walked more than he struck out, 26-24, at a time when pitchers, even on the minors, are using analytics to enhance their strikeout totals. Adley has still walked more. It shows, A, he's got a great eye, and B, he's a little bit of a feared hitter already in the Eastern League. So #2 for him, #11 for Grayson, up from 17. That's strong stuff for the Orioles. So probably have to go back to when Bundy and Machado were both like top 25 guys to see something like that. 5 in the top 90.
That is a big headline and some big names for them to follow behind. Now, one thing I did want to circle back here with, because you hear a lot in the minor leagues just how big of a jump it is to get to the AA level. That might be the biggest one until you make the jump to the big. So for these two to be so consistent, of course, the discussion has always been there. Both of them have a very mature emotional makeup. But just in particular, how much of a litmus test is that to be still pretty early in the season, but see them handling AA like they are?
Well, people in baseball have said for years, that's a separator. If you can produce at AA, you might be able to produce at the major leagues. It's no guarantee. There are no guarantees. But when players can put up big numbers at AA, they might have a chance. That's when you really say, okay, we got to really look seriously. This kid might make it. And so that's exciting that all these players are doing so well for Bowie. They're 21-7. Even with a couple tough losses recently, they still have one of the best records. They're hitting, they're pitching. They've got some nice bullpen arms. They've got the best rotation ERA in that league. Exciting stuff.
Well, I do want to mention that rotation because of Felky Peralta. You had a great article on MASNsports.com today about he's really kind of flown under the radar. He was at one point the 12th overall ranked prospect for the Orioles, but he just couldn't get over that Frederick hump. And now this year, you see it right there, a 2-0 record, a 1.42 ERA. What has it been for Peralta? He came in and said, look, I'm yours. I'm the student. Just teach me. I want to be better. But how has he made such big strides?
Well, I remember writing about how the Orioles found this kid. I mean, on the previous administration, Fred Ferrara was an international, scouting guy for the Orioles, a big one. And the day he saw Peralta throw for the first time in 2013, he signed him on the spot for over $300,000 bonus. The Orioles loved this kid then. They love him now. He's very coachable. He's very likable. He's very driven. And Melanie, it just took years of him maturing and learning his delivery. And when once he had an ERA of about 6 at Frederick, now it's what you showed, 142 in Bowie. 5 scoreless his last time out. He's touching 100. Oh, by the way, his curveball now is better shape than it's ever had. He's getting out left and right with it. And oh, by the way, his changeup tops out at 88 with good arm side movement. So this kid's turning into a complete pitcher, and that standard about AA is applying to him. Hey, Peralta might help the Orioles one day. Look at what he's doing now. His stats right now rival Grayson and DL and the rest of them.
All right, well, fans, you've heard it. Mark Felky Peralta in your books to keep an eye on him as well. One last thing, all great things today, by the way, that we get to discuss. Got to be on the field with manager Brandon Hyde for the first time since last year's shutdown. What was that like, not only for you, but for Hyde?
It was awesome. That field behind you is beautiful, and I was on it for a few hours this afternoon before heading up 95 here back home. But, it was the first time media could be allowed on the field to interview manager Brandon Hyde. And I think, believe it or not, I think he enjoyed it, seeing us in person, and we sure enjoyed it. Because, you talk to the manager on the record, but then the microphones are turned off and you kind of just banter a little bit. And that banter today lasted a lot longer than it might usually because it's been so long, Melanie. It's been March of 2020 in spring training when we last were in person with Brandon Hyde. So it was great to be on the Camden Yards field today. It's as beautiful as it looks on the television screen, up close and personal. It was great to see players in person, staff, people we haven't seen around the Orioles face to face in a long time. And that's a great step. And so more to come. Exciting day.